Desi Cerna, author of Fretboard Theory and guitar teacher specializing in guitar theory, including guitar scales, chords, progressions, modes, and more. This free guitar lesson is part of a series of songs that will demonstrate how to use major scale patterns on the guitar fretboard. It's intended for intermediate and advanced level players, and free guitar tab is available. To download it, follow the instructions in the video description. Okay, so this is Third Stone from the Sun by Jimi Hendrix, and this is the part of the song that actually begins at 42 seconds. So I'm just teaching this particular melody. It's based out of the A major scale, but E is functioning as the root. This is actually a mode, and I'll talk more about this in a minute. And what you're doing is you're basically using your index finger and playing notes along the 5th string in the A major scale and a little bit on the 6th string, and then you're just trailing it with either your ring finger or your pinky finger in order to produce octave shapes. So for example, if your index finger was on the 7th fret of string 5, that's E. And then if you go over 2 strings and up 2 frets, that's an octave E. And playing octaves are very common on the guitar, and the technique requires that you fret the notes with the tips of your fingers, but then you have to roll your fingers back just a little bit so you just slightly bump into the other strings. That way you can strum across the strings and you only hear the 2 notes that you want. I'm also sliding, so if you follow along with the tab, you're going to actually hit the 9th fret and slide into the 11th. That's the first phrase. Pick, slide. And the next phrase is so again with a slide, then you pick 9, pick 7, just follow along with the tab. And then you pick 7 again. And notice that I just picked that first 7 and all the others I just slid to. So that's 7 to 9 to 4 to 7. Next phrase. So you pick the 5th fret, slide down. Then you pick the 2nd fret, pick the 2nd fret again, slide up. Then you move over to the 6th string, so you're playing the 4th fret of the 6th string, and then you reach over 2 strings, up 2 frets. There's your octaves. Fret with your fingertips, and then roll your fingers back a little bit to mute the other strings. And you're picking the 4th fret and sliding to the 7th. If I back up a little bit. Back in the 5th string, you pick the 4th fret, slide to 2. Then pick the 7th fret, slide to 9, and back to 7. And finally, you can grab your whammy bar if you have one, and or your vibrato bar, shake it a little bit. Here's the whole thing. You know, aside from just learning the how to play the little octave riff that I just showed you, there's some other things worth pointing out in this song. First of all, this song has a series of key changes in it. So this is not a song that you could just let play and then play major scale patterns over the top, because it's going to jump from key to key to key. But I do want to point out what's happening here modally. This song is based on the A major scale, but E is functioning as the root. That's the fifth of A. This produces what's called E mixolydian mode. It's the A major scale notes, but you hear everything kind of start and resolve and revolve around E. And this changes the sound. It no longer sounds like a major scale. It's almost like your ear is hearing the A major scale notes E to E instead of A to A. And you can kind of experiment with producing this modal sound in this key well, because you can just let the 6th string E just kind of ring, and then you can use the other strings to play A major scale notes. In fact, you might even want to try doing this. You could even finger pick. Just play the E with your thumb, and maybe use your finger to pick some A major scale notes. Has kind of a unique or exotic sound to it, because it's no longer just to play an A major scale. You're hearing everything revolve around E. In fact, it's probably a good idea to practice playing the A major scale revolving around an E major chord shape. So I'll just give you one example. For example, if you put your pinky on the 7th fret here on E, you can play a C form bar chord from the Cage system. And that position is actually an E chord. So what I would do is I would visualize the E chord together with an A major scale pattern. That way, as I play through the A major scale, I can emphasize the notes that are actually related to the chord. You could do this in any position. I'm just giving you one example. Also, you can just borrow the idea straight from the riff and just play up and down the 5th string, A major scale, but keeping the low 6th string E in the bass the whole time, so you produce that modal sound. And you can use the octave shapes as well. So I just wanted to explain a little bit of the music theory behind that song. All good things to explore and learn if you really want to develop a strong command of music. So try some of these exercises that I recommended. Well, I hope you have enjoyed this free guitar lesson. Please know that this song footage is not available on DVD. It's only available online, and it only includes the brief excerpt that I play through. But if you'd like to learn more about music theory, including guitar scales, chords, progressions, modes, intervals, extensions, and how all of these things fit together, then visit my website at guitar-music-theory.com. That's guitar music theory with dashes in between the words. There you can sign up for free previews of my guitar theory book and DVDs. Well, thanks for watching, and be sure to rate this video and leave comments.